it's a good thing to see Garrett reviews right here on the Academy Series, making laps with people and have fun. And by the way, let's see if one of these guys is making a lap right now. I don't see anyone with chance of make a pole position or not in the moment. Yeah, I don't see it. The guys on the top is still open his lap, like Andre now that he opened his lap. Also, but there's Misa open his lap right now. So let's see these two guys, especially Van der Smissen because he's a bit more in front. So let's see if he can improve or not to make the pole position. He's on P3 right now. He makes some races also in Formula Challenge for the Academy team, and also make some podiums today this year in Academy Series. So he don't improve on the first sector. 2 tenths more slow than Andre. Let's go back to Andre to see if he can improve or not. You finish now. Oh, he make a mistake. And go back to the pit. So it's a dead lap by him. By the way, Jaden Wright started his lap also, and it's very quick. He almost hit the guy that was in front of him. That was Schreider. Oh my god, that was dangerous. So let's go back to this Misa because he's finished out the sector 2, and no, he don't improve it. It's not a good lap right now for Van der Smissen, and he go back to the sand part of the track and go back to the pits. So
yeah, just in there getting into P3, I saw the lap come up about 2 minutes ago or so. It was a good lap then from there. He made a little bit of an error in the middle sector, but thankfully it was enough to get himself on that second row of the grid. I think it'll be interesting between him and P4, the battle for P3 in qualifying. Maybe they might be able to challenge for P2. I personally, I think P1 might be out of their age, but we'll see. Still over 5 minutes to go, so really anything can happen, especially when I track like this. It is quite easy to find a lot of time, especially the drivers have not had a great length of time to practice this track, so we might just see some interesting racing happening on in a bit later on so far.
yes, exactly, George. And by the way, no one is improving laps on the moment on the top 5 positions, but let's see the guys on the other positions, because right now in P8, Matiak is starting his lap, and his best lap at the moment was a 1:14.494, basically almost it's basically 1 second more slower than the pole position right now, but maybe he can improve to a P6, a P7, let's see, or maybe even a P5, depends on how good his lap. He don't improve his first sector, 5 tenths more slow than Andre, and also 0.30 more slow than his previous lap. But he still have a chance to improve to a better position. Let's see how he make the sector 2, because he have free track right now. He opened the DRS right now in the straight line on the track. It's a very difficult part of the track because a lot of tricky corners and go wide of the corner. Look how aggressive is Matiak right now. Oh my goodness, he slide a little bit and go to the sand. It's like his car don't have so much downforce to make that corner so aggressive like the others. It's a pity. But let's go back to the... But there's missing right now is starting his lap. He's on the P3 right now. Andre and Jaden Wright is out lap right now. He's still to start a lap, a poly lap. So let's go back to Van der Smissen, the Dutch guy. He finished right now his sector 1, so let's see how he will improve or not. How technical is this part, how difficult it is to put the car right on the apex. And he proved his lap. He's still 1 tenth more slow than, and he make a mistake and lose the here on the car and go to the grass. It's a pity, so Van der Smissen again lose another time to improve his lap, George.
Yeah, I also just saw Rink just go off there through turn 4, the long right-hander. I think he may have lost it on the curb on the entry, and that kind of sort of spinning around into the outside wall. So, yeah, and another driver I've noticed there is that Richard Wanders in P6 now. It's a good lap for him. To be fair, 1:14.3 is actually, that's quicker than what I did in practice if there wasn't really racing. But it's a good lap. It's good to see these new guys coming through the ranks and pulling in solid lap times in the academy. Hopefully these FC team bosses, they can sort of see these guys progressing as they go through the years. And hopefully we could see them, who knows, in Super League one day.
Exactly. We always like to see new talents coming to GPVWC, so it's good to see Warner's show a good of skill. Right now he's on P7, but I think he will still fighting with De Vries and other guys for this top 5 at the moment. And by the way, let's see other people on the track if they improve or not, his laps. And by the way, Sonveld is the P4 right now. He's finishing his lap and it was improved on sector 2. And he improved a lot and is a P3 right now. 1:13.698. What
a good lap.
It's a good lap by Sonveld right now in the P3.
Yeah, that's a good lap. I do agree. That is a good lap.
It was a very, very good lap and very near to Jaden Wright. So right now is going to be on trouble because maybe Sundveld can be the pace to beat him, or maybe having the pole position. We don't know, George.
Yeah, it's going to be close to the end here. I can sort of feel it spicing up. We may or not. We did see Pole Sitter. He did sort of escape to the pits, but hopefully he doesn't go out because then I don't think that's against. I think that will be against the rules, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't. Has he gone out? I think he has actually. So that's interesting. But yeah, I do think Pole could come down to the wire. I think Jaden and P3 and P4, they've all got a lot of time to find. To be honest with you, I think Jaden's just setting himself up for a lap at the moment, so we'll see what he can do as he begins his lap.
And basically, this will be the final try to these guys from the pole position because 1 minute and 10 to end the session. And let's see Jaden Wright because he's the first guy to try a lap right now. So you try the pole position. So Mr. Wright, what you can show to us? Oh my goodness, very near to Darius Vander on the sector 1. Still is more slower, but it's not that slower. So he still have a chance. All depends now on the sector 2. Need to put everything. So let's see if Jaden Wright can make that or not. The driver from Australia, former RBA reserve driver. Can you make that or not, Jaden? Show to us. Oh, look how aggressive he was on the tunnel part. And he improved, but was not good enough to beat Ender, but still very near. So now is the truth. Can he make or not? Let's see. Final part of the
I think he's going to get it. I think he might snatch it, you know. Comes around the final corner. Purple in sector 2.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
Almost, George. Almost. My goodness. Maybe he make a little mistake on the final part. I think he touched the wall, so because of that he lost a little bit of time.
It was close.
And the quali is already ended. Andre don't improve his lap. Sundveld's on the pits. No one's on the track. But let's see Gary DeVries because Gary DeVries is still on the track, and maybe he can improve to the top 5. Maybe because. Let's see now on the sector 2 because he was better on the sector 1. He improved a lot and he improved also on the sector 2, 1/10 before his previous lap. So maybe we can see Garrett DeVries going to the top 5 on the track. So let's see now. Last corner from Garrett DeVries, the Dutch driver, Team Boss of Friesland. Can you make that or not, Mr. DeVries? Oh, he lost control of the car on the final part. My goodness, probably he's very frustrated right now because he had everything to make the top 5, George. What a pity for Garrett DeVries.
Yeah, it was looking alright to be fair. Just lost it. I think it was the grass on entry that sort of spat him out wide, and the rear just went around. I don't think anyone else will improve. We'll see though. There's only a few cars that further down the grids that still have to go.
Basically, the quali is already to the end, so. Oh my goodness, Tom Parker, by the way, P6 from Tom Parker. We are not watching that, George. But Tom Parker made a 1:14.097 and he's on the P6. So basically for DeVries, the frustration is high because he has the pace for make that time that Parker made it in the end. But the pole position is from Romanian driver Darius Andre. I think he's the second pole position in the season because he make also in 2 rounds before in Academy Series. So second pole position for Darius Andre in Academy Series is very, very good for the Romanian driver. And Jaden Wright in P2 and Gigi Sundveld in P3. This is a top 3 for today. What are your thoughts after all these things we see today on the quali? George, what do you expect from the race after you see in the quali today?
I think the mid-pack will be really, really interesting to watch. From P5 to P20 is still within a second. So that is where I've got a feeling most of the action will be. It'll be interesting to see if the top sort of 5 can try and pull away from the pack because I don't think DRS will be as powerful as other tracks because it's such a short track. I think it will be down to that dirty end, especially getting pole position will be a massive advantage to begin with without that clean end. You can just sort of look after your tyres, take a bit more careful into these corners. I'm going to try and preserve your tyres to use them towards the end of the race.
Actually, George, and by the way, the quality session already going to the end. Now we're going to warm up, and very interesting this this grid. Some new guys, as you can see on the grid, and also some old guys like Andre that already showed his talent in GPVWC. Also, gained the right that races some races before in Academy Series. But there's missing already know, always racing Academy Series, and sometimes in Informal Challenge also. A guy that we already know, a very experienced guy, racing today in Informal Challenge, Super League Light, Super League, and he's going back to Academy Series right now. And he already raced, win a race in Academy Series this year. That was in Turkey. That is Tom Parker. So very interesting to see Parker here today again in Academy Series, and is a guy that can be a problem for the guys on the front, no, George, because of the experience he have, and in a type of race like that, that is need to take care also a bit of his tires because there's a lot of laps. So maybe it's a type of race that is good for a guy like Tom Parker. What do you think, George?
Yeah, well, in qualifying, I believe it was I think he only did one lap in qualifying, and that was his P6 lap. So clearly showing he has the pace when he needs to deliver it. And we'll see if he can do that in the race well. Obviously, that was his only lap. There was probably some time in the lap, but we'll see if that can portray into the racing that will be coming up very shortly. Now, what I'm interested to see is that strategy-wise. You know, it is going to be a long race. These guys, for some of them, it could just be the longest race they'll ever do. Maybe not in their life, but at the moment, it probably and most likely is. This track is going to be a hard one to keep yourself focused. And I do believe we actually did gain some drivers between practice and the race. So we're now up to 28 cars instead of 25. So good to see more people joining and getting themselves ready for the race today. But yeah, once again, a beautiful pole position. I think it was a 13.3. I believe that's a 10th off what he can do, Darius. And we'll see how the racing pans out. But at the moment, obviously in the warm-up session, for me anyway, I use it for myself to just get acclimatized with race fuel, going into the race mood, to be honest with you. Also, I also use it for overtaking practice. I go out there with the other people, get used to dirty air again, and try and make some overtakes. Just get yourself in that rhythm for the racing.
Yes, it's very good to have George here, showing all his knowledge about sim racing for us. And by the way, I very exciting to see how this race will be, George, because as you see, we have now more cars on the track, 28, in a short track like that. And also you talk about concentration, and we see how is the sector 2 in this track is a very technical sector. So depends on how the tires being on the last laps, will be very difficult to some guys can continue a good race pace, especially making that corners in a very fast way, because it's a track that I unfortunately I think we will see some crashes today because it's a really easy track to something happen.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the bridge section, which I mentioned before a bit earlier on. I believe before we had the latest version track, the DRS was a bit longer, so further down the straight, which could have been an issue if we were using that at the moment, because that could have caused some potential crashes. But I've still got a feeling there will be an off some point in today. When, I don't really know, but I think we'll have to wait and find out. But it's going to be an interesting one. That is fair to say the least. Carnage, potentially. We'll see how it pans out. But honestly, that midfield is going to be close, and it's going to be even closer in the racing to come.
Exactly. By the way, guys, 6 minutes to end the warm up. We are going back to continue with the broadcast in when the warm up ends. We'll continue with the round 15 of GPVWC Academy Series, but we will still showing to you guys some people make some practice on the warm up. So we're going back soon. Okay, we are back to continue the broadcast for today, the round 15 on GPWC Academy Series in the Highlands Motorsport Park in New Zealand. Uh, the warm-up is coming to the end. Now we have 29 cars on the grid. Tom Edmonds also joined now, also to make the race today. I mean, George, 31 laps, a short track. If it was you racing today, what strategy you think is the best one?
I think depending on the tyre wear, I do believe the one stop will be the way to go. You may, again, depending on the tyre wear, have to conserve the tyres towards the end of the stint, but at the start, I would be sensible on the opening lap and then try and work your way around that and get through the grid, preserve the tyres, do your stop, and then see where you're on the second stint and go to the end.
I think if it was me racing today, I think for more that I know that the one stop is probably is the best strategy. Just for fun, I think I was going to try the zero stop, but I think the zero stop today will be. I hope I be wrong, but I think it will be impossible to win today without making a pit stop. So warm up come to the end. We are now waiting for the going to the next session, to the race session. So now we're on the race section. By the way, the track is very, very cold right now, 9 degrees. 29 cars on the server today for the race. Some seconds to start the formation lap. We are watching now the. By the way, George, since you make a lot of races this year in GPVWC, in Super Cup, also in Super League Lights, we see you. This part now that you're waiting for the formation lap is the most most emotional part because all the things going to the head now, thinking about how we go the race or not. How is your situation in that, for example?
Personally, I think it depends on each person. I think everyone's different. Normally, for me, probably just due to my real racing as well, I'm more sort of calm. I sort of know the game plan. It's in my head. I know exactly what I'm doing, and it's more just about trying to execute that initial plan that you start off with.
Good. And by the way, let's go talk the starting grid for today, the round 15 in Highlands Motorsport Park. So, pole position is the Romanian Darius Andre. Jaden Wright, Australian driver in P2. 10, we have two Dutch guys in P3 and P4, that is Sonneveld and Vandersmissen. Then you have Colin Matiak in P5, first race for Matiak, I think. I never see him in Academy C, so it was as a debut in P5, not bad for him. So, and you have a driver from Greece in P6, that is called Tugois. Then Garrett De Vries in P7, Joe McLean in P8, Richard Wonders in P9, another Dutch driver. Then Henk Hoeks in P10, also from Netherlands, a team boss of Thunderdog. Hanko de Zoo, another Dutch driver in P11. Then we have German Stefan Schred in P12. Caitlin Penn in P13 today. Fabrice Moriarato from France in P14. And also his compatriot Kevin Morley finished on top 15 for today. P16 is Sebastian Apostol. Then P17 is Patrick Smith. P18 is Dan Halsall. P19 is Persos Miran. Top 20 finishes Rob Roos, that is on the pit, so he starts from the pit stop. Martin de Jong in P21, then Zeshenko from Russia in P22, Kevin Boyce in P23, Rob Smith in P24, Damian Kleinen in P25, Jean-Michel Garnier in P26, P27 is Lazarus Filipax from Greece. He always loved to start from the back and always show for us a lot of surprises. Also start from the back. P28 is Tom Parker. He wants to start from the back of the grid, so interesting from Tom Parker. And the last position is Tom Edmonds, that also will start from the pit stop. So this is the 29 cars for today.
Well, here we go then. All the hype, it comes down to this. This is going to be what could potentially be the most exciting Academy race. Now, I have already seen that's P22 going off in the formation, but I think it was, believe it, Dennis Ichikango. We've also lost someone in the pit lane already. I think it was Tom Edmonds. I may or may not have had a crash in the formation app, but we'll see how the start is going to shape up. Who will get the run through turn 1 and into turn 2. Turn 2, obviously, it's a fast little chicane. Normally, in a qualifying lap, you are not going to be lifting, but obviously, it's going to be race conditions. The opening lap, you want to be careful. You don't want to. Arguably, you want to be side by side through the combo. Let's find then building up to those 5 red lights.
And the race starts. And a good start from Jaden Wright and Van der Smith. And also, Andre lost 2 positions on the start on the track. And, oh my goodness, let's see on the back. And I hear a crash. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Yeah, it's quite a big one. That's quite a few cars out for. Oh, okay, there's someone inside someone's halo. Martin de Jong, I believe, is inside Rob Smith. But never mind, that's probably the top 20 downwards. I think has all had an incident. More contact behind Rob Russo. Tom Park involved as well. But looks to me like at the front, it's been a sensible start as they approach the turn 13. Can be quite tricky, left-hander, sorry. 90 degrees, got to get the exit right here because this is where most of the overtaking will happen. Can Jaden Wright, he's managed to take the lead, but can he hold off from second place? I think he's just about going to do it before they head over the bridge. A couple of cars going side by side further down the pack. But most of the front guys, though, getting away smoothly. I think really, though, from P20 downwards, it's been a rough start for most of the guys. Quite a few cars without rear wings.
And by the way, George, we see a lot of crashes, and I look in Tom Parker, try to go to the pits. He's already without the 2 wings, so what the problem for Tom Parker on the start. Some guys also have a good start and avoid that, like Lazarus Finkpakos. This guy always makes miracles, as we see. He's already on top on P14 right now. He escaped from the crash. It's incredible how he have skill to escape from these things. And by the way, I see on the start Darius Andre. Basically, he and Jaden Wright start on the same position, just basically side by side. And I think the difference of rubber in the outside part to the inside part was crucial to Andre have a bad start also.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it right now, oh, hello, battle for P1. Justin's had a good exit. He's going to pull alongside into turn 15. Side by side they go. I think Justin would just about take the lead of the race. So he goes into P1. And it's a good start from Justin, getting past the 2 front runners. And now he's got clean air. Vital. That's really important. He's got that clean air. Now he can start to pull away from P2. If he has that pace, which to be honest for you, I think he will be able to. Because Jaden Wright and Darius in those P2 and P3, they seem to have been a little bit caught red-handed there. And now Justin's through into that pin. There's a laps car there of, I don't know who that was, but getting on the grass here nicely for them. Through the chicane of turn 2 and turn 3. Into that long right-hander. Going to be a killer on these tyres. You really do have to look after them. As people who are on the controller, they might suffer even more, especially with that right-hander. But people like Guy Branton, who's in Formula Challenge moment, he will probably know how to save his tyres better than other people on the controller. But we'll see, though, as the race starts to involve around now.
Talking a guy that's using the controller, Lazarus Finkpakos, that is already now in P14. He also makes some podiums today this year in Academy Series. And he's a very experienced guy that using the joypad. So, and he is very near to the household, just 2 seconds. So probably in a few laps you see he started to make some battles for the position, maybe a top 10. He's a very quick driver that he likes to start from the back. So probably you'll see him battle for some top positions in some laps. But still start of the race. And by the way, talking about the front, Van der Smith make another lap, but the fastest lap of the race on the last lap was by De Vries. By now, Van der Smith make the fastest lap on the race, 1:14.5.99. Very quick to the Dutch driver for the moment, George.
Yeah, this is what I was expecting, to be honest with you. As soon as you get into that lead, you have such an advantage with that clean air, especially through some of these high-speed corners. It really is a massive advantage. Now, this is the problem here. Jaden Wright, Darius Andrea, Colin Mitak, and Garrett DeVries, they're all inside this train, and it's going to be very, very difficult to A, look after the tyres, and B, try and make progress, because the places you want to overtake, you have to get a good exit. You literally have to get the wealthiest exit to try and execute an overtake.
And by the way, the DRS is already labeled, so let's see if Darius Andre can start to try to make an attack against Jaden Wright and try to keep his position back, because he lost 2 positions on that and probably is not very happy about that. For the moment, I think no one is trying to make a zero stop from the front, because the pace is very similar. So it will be very interesting race. Who make the first move to make the pit stop, he probably can change all the way the race will be today.
Yes, there is this amazing battle of P11 moment. Caitlin Penny, Don Hassel, and I believe it's actually a lapped car as well in the second pink car. They're all trying to fight for the same piece of tarmac for that last sector, and it's quite incredible to watch. I think the lapped car, I'm trying to see who it is, I do reckon they've got quite better pace. I'm trying to find who it is now. Tom Parker, that's it, Tom Parker. He seems to have quite a bit better pace over the guys in front of him, but of course now he's a lap down, and now he's sort of in the round P11 on track. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle to try and fight his way through the pack. Obviously, he's now a lap down, so it'll make it even harder, especially with blue flags. But I think Caitlin Penny made her move, and now she's going to gun it to try and catch after P10 and hopefully get a top 10.
By the way, Van der Smissen already have a first back marker to make a move. It was Denis Zechenko from Russia. And in a few laps, you see Zechenko also maybe give a problem or not to Jaden Wright and Darius Andre. And also you have a very big battle for some positions right now. P6 battle, come to Goose against Sonneville. In corners before, they haven't touched the wheels a little bit. And also Gerd De Vries put a little pressure on Matiak. So and De Vries also make a very good start from P7 to P5. And a very quick guy on the moment also on the track.
Yeah, I did just see Tom Edmonds pass going to P18 through the DRS straight and then into the fast left right-hander over the bridge. It was quite close. I believe it was Jean-Michael Garnier. He just about left the room as they went through the bridge section. So good, fair racing. We always like to see that, especially in GPVWC. Looking around in the rest of the field, though, you can see this amazing battle I was on about for P4 now. Colin, Maitak, and I believe that's a lapped marker, actually, even.
Is Zechenko the back
Yeah,
marker?
it is. I think you're right. Oh, that's going to get a bit close between the two. Bit of contact. Oh, dear. Oh, it's been almost 3 wide. They head 3 wide down the back straight. This can never end well. I think this back marker is not making it easy. It's that's very, very close there. Gerrit De Vries pushing the limit. Oh, that's a lunge there. It's contact behind. That's the Green Academy car, Citrus Kandraga. He made contact with Conor Maitek. He's now dropped down to P8. He's lost out to a couple of cars as well. Richard Wander's now back up to P6. And this is quite incredible here. I saw this coming from quite back, especially with that lap marker. It just didn't exactly make it easy enough for these good drivers. But he's now thankfully got out of the way a couple of the guys. They head through the fast chicane.
By the way, George, I think Matiak right now is very, very upset, especially with Dan Zechenko that by the way, Andre make a move against Wright, so now there is Andre in P2. Very interesting. The Romanian driver takes the position from Jaden Wright, and probably in a few laps he will start to attack Van der Smissen that have 3.8 seconds of difference. But talking about Zechenko, Zechenko do not give easy, but he do not have a reason for that, because he was not in fighting with that guy. That was on the front, and he received blue flags. Unfortunately, he was a bit of a monkey right now making that, and that cost some position from some drivers on the front.
Yeah, I did just see that again. The back marker gap now starting to get in the way of P11 as they head over the bridge. Once again, this is what I mean. It's a tricky track to overtake, especially when you have back markers that really aren't moving out of the way. It does make your life a lot harder, especially if you've got 2 cars fighting away for position. It can definitely interfere. Battle for P9. Rink head their way down into turn 2, the fast chicane. They're going to go side by side. No, they're not. Thankfully, John there backing out of that one. He realised the opportunity was probably going to close, and most likely a crash. But we'll see though. Through turn 6, the long right-hander. Looks to me John's got much better pace. He's going to try to go to the outside. Can't make that work. Rink holds the inside line. That corner is quite interesting actually. Into turn 7 and turn 8, you can sort of defended quite nicely if you just hold that inside line, because it goes left and then instantly back to the right. You can sort of almost just straight line it, and it will do you favours. I batter for P11 though. Hot on the heels. Lazarus trying to make a move into that P11. Caitlin Penny is in the background as well. A couple of purple cars and a pink car as they make their way into the 90-degree left-hander. Caitlin Penny's down inside. That's never going to work. All that was very, very close. They somehow got away with that one. Caitlin Penny there trying to find a position back into. I think Caitlin may have made a mistake, because I did hear a bit of tyre screeching. Now down into P13, but we'll see what she can do. We know she has the pace. We'll see what she can do about it a bit further on in today's action.
Basically, Filipacos opened the entry to try to make a better exit again, also because we have a DRS after that straight. But Caitlin Penny see the opportunity right here. She see the space in the entry, try to make a dive bomb, but was not effectively. But probably if Filipacos give another space, she will try another one, because the space is here. Why not try to make a move?
Yes, definitely. I just watched back the start of the crash. It was a complete kerfuffle. There was I think it was about 3 wide as they entered the first chicane, and it just caused absolute chaos. And yeah, well, that definitely has not favoured some of these drivers. Quite a few of them. How many? Has anyone DNF'd yet? I think we may have had a couple. Only one, actually, surprisingly. Yeah. So
Smith that have a DNF, but still 28 cars on the track. And by the way, the difference from Andre and the Vries is increasing. The Vries show more pace right now. The last lap by Van der Vries was a 1:14.9 against a 1:15.4 by Darius Andre. So Van der Vries is basically on another level today in the race pace.
yeah, I mean, definitely. I think Justin potentially may or not have just got the lap in qualifying, or maybe he's just got a more Pacific race setup. I know some people have tried that in the past in the series and think it normally works, but you usually have 1 or 2 clicks you do before qualifying in the race to make your setup more appropriate for the racing conditions. I know I do that myself. You can see Justin making another back marker as he gets onto the DRS straight. He will have actually had DRS off the back marker, so it's kind of handy for him. But yeah, a very action-packed start so far, and Rodrigo is now starting to separate a little bit. But do you think P2, P3, and the likes of Jaden, Garrett DeVries, can they make a challenge really for P1?
All depends on how will be the strategy. Now it's difficult to know if Van der Vries is using less fuel to make a pit stop or not, or Andre. Maybe we'll need to wait more 2 laps to see how is the strategy, because now the time is not show the truth, and maybe Andre is making a hell of a job also to save fuel and tires and still be quick, and not to make Van der Vries do not be a problem on the final laps, or maybe it's just Van der Vries that is quick and nug. So it's a strategy battle right now, especially with the gap that he is on the race. And I don't think Wright will be a problem for Andre right now, because I feel that Wright is pushing a lot and struggling a little bit to be near with Andre. And also, by the way, the battle for the P9 is still Hoekstra in front of John McLean. But Tom Parker, that was the back marker, overtook the boat, but still Hoekstra defending the position against John McLean. He make a very, very masterclass on defend the position against the driver for Scotland, and McLean will try dive bomb. Ooh!
Oh, there. Yeah, I kind of saw that one coming from a mile back.
Oh, my goodness. The back, Filipacos also lost the grip of the car and lost a lot of positions also. Maybe he was afraid of hitting the John McLean, and because of that he lost the control of the car, because he also spun on the same corner after some seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good effort from John. I just don't think it was probably the best option to do. I think he probably just waited for DRS and tried to make a move down the straight. Obviously, that is such a wide entry. You got so much tarmac, you can sort of afford to go late, so make a late lunge. But I think he may have just left it a little bit too late and did go a bit deep into the side of Riang. So yeah, not the best to move, but thankfully they haven't really lost a position yet, so they can recover from that and try and make a challenge.
But by the way, George, you have a guy that will have some problems. Oh my goodness, he's a problem for.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's Klein and he have a engine problem, looks like, and also without a front wing. And it looks like he's stuck it as he tried to push the car, but the car don't want to obey. So a bit of problem right now. I think it's maybe a good idea he retire from the race. Looks like he start to push more right now, but maybe this engine will blow up if continue with the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking back at what's just happened to him. I'm not entirely too sure what happened because he came out of turn 6, and then it looks to me like either he's had some sort of failure or he's like let go of his wheel because his wheel like shakes left, right, and then just because like, he spins out and then it goes full speed into the marshal's hut, and that pretty much ruined his front wing, suspension, and quite clearly his engine as well. So yeah, not too sure about that one, but I'm sure he won't be pleasantly happy about that.
By the way, George, you want some good news?
Go for it.
Look, the battle for the P3 right now, because looks like Jader Wright started to. By the way, we is Andre. Oh, Andre looks like he make a pit stop because he's now on the P17. But also we have a battle now for P2 because Jader Wright have also with him De Vries that also now more closer to him. And also Contogugis that is also following the group. And, oh my goodness, I have a guy on the tunnel part.
Yeah, it's the same guy. It's the same. Yeah, I think his engine is now fully dead, and he's not escaping. There you go. He's finally escaped.
Yeah. Oh, good that he escaped it, but dangerous to be right here, because especially now. Imagine if De Vries was more near and tried to make a move against Jader Wright. It probably was not the best of the things that could happen. But looks like Andre starts to make a pit stop. So now it will be interesting to see how Andre can handle with a new fresh of tires against Van der Vries, and can he make the best lap right now and be very near to Van der Vries and maybe make the move, the overtake. So let's see how it will be now. It's a very interesting strategy battle against these two guys.
Oh my, okay, so sorry, John's just had a massive sort of Tokyo drift moment through turn 6. He went a little bit hot, and the rear end just went completely around. I think he actually may or may not have checked it from Caleb Penny. He was going a little bit slowly to avoid a car, I believe. So, I was about to say, this is probably now the time where people might start to pit, depending again on their strategy, but I think he may have gone, yeah, Darius, I think he may have pitted a little bit too early because he will get the undercut, but I'm not entirely too sure it's going to benefit him at the end of the race because he's going to be pushing quite high and he's going to run into traffic, which will slow him down, and then he's just going to have quite bad tyre wear compared to everyone else.
So also we have a battle in front of Darius, by the way, that is Rob Ruza against Schreider, against John McLean, and Darius Andre also tried to make a move, but it's difficult right now because of the dirty air, and also, oh my goodness, look at that, Andre makes a very bad, what a move by Darius Andre. That was very risky, but very precise on the same time. My goodness.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's coming to pits now, so Justin also pitted. He's rejoining P7, which is, as I suggested, quite a bit further ahead than Darius, who's now, he's not, okay, he's done, how was he saved that? I will never know through turn 6 there. Again, having to check up through these guys who are still yet to pit, but quite a few cars that pit lane as well. Caleb Penny, Richard Wanders, quite a few people in the pit lane. So we'll see how they can get the undercut on some of their rivals.
But by the way, George, in fact, I see right now, Andre, in fact, don't pit. It looks like he made a mistake and lost a lot of positions. So, oh my goodness, Darius Andre is a bad situation because probably his tires is not in a good shape. Of course, he have the pace against these guys, but he basically, oh my goodness, and by the way, he tried to make a move against Schreider and he lost complete on he make a very big oversteer, but he still have the DRS, and because of that, they make the move. But what a drama from Darius Andre, because he lost a lot of positions and his tires basically struggle compared to the top guys. So basically, his chance of winning is 0 right now.
Yeah, we also just had another spinner down the main straight. Dennis Ekachakengo. He lost it through the last corner, dipped one on the grass, and just sort of got a little bit stuck there. The casting party had to sort of wait. It was dropped down to P26, so it's not terrible, but clearly it probably wanted to have been doing better.
And by the way, a lot of guys started to make pit stops. We see seconds ago also Contoglug is making a pit stop. He's now in P16. As we see also Anders missing right now in P6, and he tried to make a move against Vin Hoykstra, but we already seen that Hoykstra shows a lot of a good defensive skill, so maybe Van der Wiese can lose time with Hoykstra, and that's not good from business, but let's see. Oh, nice bomb. It's like Hoykstra knows that Van der Wiese have a better tires, a better car, so it's better don't try to put problems on him, especially because Renko de Zoo is behind it, and with a lot of hungry to make some overtakes right now.
Yeah, Jaden right now just starting to feel the pressure from Garrett DeVries. He's baiting in the pit lane, so Garrett there trying to get the undercut on Jaden. We'll see if it work out from there. They were pretty much neck and neck on track, so we'll see where he's going to rejoin in comparison to the front runners. We'll see where they are. I think they're playing around the final sector at the moment. Main question is probably Justin, though.
P10. P11. Oh, there is Andre make a move. So, oh my goodness, but it looks like undercut to make that move. But in the end, Andre is on the front. But the thing is, if Andre make a strategy to not make a pit stop, maybe this could be not a problem. The thing is, on the final lap, of course, you don't have tires to battle against this guy. So the situation now for Andre is very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, I can see quite a few people who are still yet to pit. Their tires absolutely gone through the roof. So, yeah, not too sure what's saying out.
And Jaden Wright on the pits, so let's see. This is the time right now that we expected.
He should pit if he wants to protect the undercut from Garrett. My logical instinct will probably go to pit lane. Yeah, and indeed he does. He's going to go into pit lane and see where Garrett DeVries is on track compared to where he's looking for. Oh, we've got to move back for P12. Tom Edmonds down inside. That's, again, Stefan almost got mugged there for P14 as well. They'll go over the bridge section nearly side by side. Not quite, though.
Oh, DeVries make the move. So, sorry, George, but DeVries make the move against Jaden Wright. And also there is Andre in front of him. We're in the P7 right now, so there is Andre P7. DeVries in P8 takes the overtake after the pit stop, and Jaden Wright in P9. But Wright have better tires, so let's see if Wright can use that as advantage in the next laps.
Yeah, crucially for Garrett, he has got ahead of Jaden. So that is very, very good there, Tommy from Garrett. He saw the opportunity to pit and bailed into pit lane, has crucially got the undercut. He pulled an incredible outlap and has now got ahead of Jaden Wright. His next target will most likely be Darius to see if he can retake P7. I believe there's still some guys left to pit. I think it's probably first, third, all the way down to P6. So we'll see what these guys can do, because Justin is quite a bit out ahead at the moment anyway, but we'll see what's going to happen here.
And now Justin takes the lead because Sonvel goes to the pit. So he's going to the lead again. I think for Justin, but if you not make any mistake, you don't have any problem with connection, probably this win is already secured for him, because he's on a level above in racecraft today against other guys. But the battle for P2 will be very interesting, because Andre still showing a lot of good pace against DeVries and Jaden Wright, even with don't go to the pit stop and with worse tire conditions compared to these two guys. So this will be interesting. If Andre can make that happen, he will be the driver of the day, completely.
Oh, okay, yeah. The back marker of Tom Parker is still trying to make it through the field. Almost, very, very nearly made contact with Satarius in P8 through the first chicane flat out. So, yeah, getting a little bit close between some of these drivers on track at the moment. Oh, I've just seen or heard a front wing go. Not too sure what that is, though.
Oh, is Matiak? Oh my goodness, what a drama, because Matiak was very a good job today on the race. Let's see on the replay what happened.
Oh no, they've just spun again. He's now up the hill, and yeah, that might just be the end of his race over. Luckily, he's avoided the UFO that's on the right, on the right near the trees. There seems to be quite a few interesting wildlife choices from the track modders around this track. There's dinosaurs and everything, rhinos, giraffes. But yeah, back to actually, yeah, calling them making a mistake. I'm not too sure it was a mistake though, but
was not a mistake. I think. Oh my goodness.
either way, Lazarus now into P3. No, he's just gone past another back. I think that still might be Tom Parker. No, it's a different one now.
By the way, Jaden Wright looks like he's lost also the car because he's on the P10 right now, lost a lot of positions. So, what a drama from him. And Andre is still in P4. Oh, what a race for Darius Andre after the mistake he made a few laps before. And by the way, the Matiak, the problem, he have a collision with Apostol fighting for the position, and basically the nose of Apostol car make he lost the control and going into the grass and lose the front wing. Is a pity for him. But Jaden Wright make a mistake and he's now on the P9. A lot of drama happened today in a race like that, as you see it.
Yeah, this is where it's going to really start to heat up. With only 11 laps to go, Justin at that front of the field. He's going to be wanting to increase his gap, but Rienk is still... Is he still out in the same set of tyres? Because if he is, he potentially might lose out for the undercut. Well, he will lose out to the undercut, but he will have that tyre wear, and he's going to try and fight his way through the back. Unless he is doing the zero stop, then this could make this very, very interesting between him and Darius. And look at this, here comes Lazarus. He's now under pressure from Kevin in the head through the flat out turn 1, turn 2 chicane into turn 4, that long right-hander, a killer on the tyres. Tries to get the better exit, keeping it nice and tight. A way you can sort of like avoid the dirty is by taking a slightly different line to the car in front into the fast chicane. A lot of curb you can use, but not too much because it will sort to unsettle the car. Bit of track to extra time that you can use on the exit of the corner into this lovely left-hander, nice bit of camber. And Kevin there trying to keep up with P4 with Lazarus.
By the way, Sonveld, that was the last guy to... By the way, Apostol is out of the race. He put the car on the grass and basically out of the race. I don't know the reasons. But Sonveld is making the move against Scheider now with pressure tires on the P10. He's a guy that probably can make a lot of moves because a lot of guys with positions in his front. So let's see if Sonveld can make that or not. And now the difference from Andre and Hoekstra is 2 seconds. Both don't make a pit stop. So I think they do not make any zero stops right now. But it's incredible the recovery from Andre after the mistake he made it, because he's still on the top 3 right now, even with more struggled tires than before. But he's still on the top. He shows a very, very expressive and incredible race pace, even with these tires on these conditions.
Yes, definitely there. I just noticed I was actually not watching the live feeds. I was about 20 seconds behind the action there on my screen, so that's kind of a big F. But yeah, looking at Rienk and Darius, I think it's here. Darius is probably lapping around 1.3 seconds a lap quicker at the moment, so logically I can't see Rienk staying ahead with the remaining of laps to go if he is planning to do the zero stop. But we will see how it pans out, to be honest with you. It will be very interesting.
And also not only him, Filipakos also that start from the back in P4. Kevin Morley in P5 also don't make a pit stop. These guys today making an amazing. It looks like they make an amazing strategy and continue a very consistency on the track, and this is very good to see. But De Vries is more fast than these guys, and probably a few laps to see De Vries try to make a move against Morley and Filipakos. So let's see how De Vries can handle against these 2 guys in front of him. And also Jaden Wright tried to make some moves already now in P8 after the mistake he made it laps before. So the top order right now, as you can see, is Rodrigo in P1, Hoekstra is in P2 with Andre in P3. Andre already on the DRS zone. And maybe it can be now the time. It looks like Andre already opened the DRS. Tried to make a move against Hoekstra. Let's see if he can make the move or not before the tunnel part. Oh my goodness, that was dangerous, but a very good move by Andre. So there is Andre now in P2 after the is a big comeback for the Romanian driver right now. Oh my goodness, almost Hoix make a dive bomb, but in the end was not effectively. So entering P2, George.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that was luck or perfectly timed, because the way he moved going up through the bridge was just, it was literally timing to perfection there. And I think Ring sort of went for a last ditch trying to move into P2 into the last couple of corners. Didn't really work out for him, but I think he, depending on Lazarus's pace and the massive pack behind him, if he can just sort of keep his own, run his own race in the meantime, he might just be able to hang on for a P3 here.
And by the way, I think Darius Andre is showing a very good pace, and also this comeback. Something in career ladder needs to take an eye on him, because what they can, sometimes some teams just looking for quicker drives that be quick a lot, but forget that also some things is important. And some of the important things is the driver have the be cool and collected and have the patience, even if things be bad. We see that Andre, all the things going negative to him, because he lost the pole position, the first place on the start of the race, 2 positions basically. Then he have make a mistake that lost a ton of positions in the middle of the race. But even with that, he's still calm, he's still okay, no problem, let's just continue in race, and now he's on P2 again. It's incredible what he made today.
Yes, we are now seeing this battle for P4 starting to shake up. I actually think Lazarus is on the 0 stop as well, so let's see what he can do. He's got quite a few cars. Kevin in the background, Gerrit de Vries, Sotiris, Jaden Wright, and even potentially Tom Edmonds if he picks up a pace a little bit. They could all be in this battle for P4. Crucially, because it's Lazarus who's ahead and behind a Riank, they're both from the 0 stop, so this is crucially might actually help Riank try to consolidate his P3, but we'll see what he can do, because look at this, Gerrit de Vries is all over the back of Kevin. They make way down, he's going down the inside a bit, very close. Oh, that's Lazarus making might as well, they're all going everywhere, to be honest with you. That's don't go make it right. Oh, well, okay, they're doing it. Here we go, 3 wide, potentially 2 wide. Who's going to give up? They're not going to give up. There's contact over the gravel. Oh my life, that was unbelievable. That very, very almost ended in utter tears there. They're still side by side somehow. There's just 3 wide. He's over the corner. He's over the curve. Oh dear. Gerrit de Vries losing absolutely everything. Jaden Wright's now into P7. Sotiris into P6. Kevin into P4. Look at this. Lazarus is now getting that clear air. He's staying in that P4. This is brilliant for Riank though, who's in that P3 and crucially keeping his pace at what he needs to be.
Well, Marvel have the guts, but come on, Pon Parker. Come on, Tom Parker. Or I can call you Pon Parker after that, because if you're not batting for the position, you're a back marker. There's no reason to you make that, Tom. Come on, don't make that. Be more calm, waiting the time. Basically, you put the Vries in a bad situation right now, because of that 3 wide in a corner that was not to be good in a 3 wide, the Vries lost a lot of position. Oh my goodness, Marvel lost the here end, and look at the Vries, George.
Oh my life, this is unbelievable. Gerrit de Vries, he's just gone from hero to 0, and now he's back into that hero, but he's a little bit on the grass as well. I think Jaden Wright's going to try and make him move. He's going to be on the curb a little bit. Might try to squeeze Kevin out. They go sub. Oh, Kevin's massive slide. Oh, and he's hit the back of Jaden Wright. And now Jaden Wright's off into the grass. I think he just sort of lost him mid-corner. Hit the back of Jaden Wright. And then I believe it might have been the pink car of Kevin. I think he may have made contact. Tom Edmonds, meanwhile, was pitted. Caleb Pelly's on the gravel in P12.
The thing is, Marvel basically, his tires is already dead. He don't make any pit stop. So basically, for now, he don't have any tires. So we see that he locked up the tires on the brakes, because basically there is no rubber on his tires to continue and battle against this guy with the new fresh tires. But he's still trying. He still don't give up. But the difficult situation now for Marvel. In other situation, Filipakos also don't have any tires, but because of the battle he have left before, he still have time to read up a little bit, and and try to relax and prepare himself for the final laps. But Contoguris and De Vries is very quick guys and with the fresh tires, so it will be difficult for him.
Yeah, definitely. Now Garrett De Vries is starting to line an overtake up. He's currently P6. He's right behind Sartorius, who's now finally caught up to the back of Lazarus. Now, I think Garrett... Oh, massive slide there from Sartorius. Now, he's going to be quicker than Lazarus, but the crucial part here is Lazarus. He has to put his car in the perfect position because he's gaining on brink as well. Look, oh, it's a massive wiggle there. Oh, oh my, okay, that's almost ended in not a fun situation for all three of them there. This is going to be very, very close here between the end of these couple of laps here because Garrett De Vries, I can just see that using up every single ounce of his tyres. Only a few laps to go. Lazarus is absolutely bricking it. He must be baking with the amount of sweat that's falling down his face right now.
Top situation from Lazarus because he don't have any DRS to defend against these two guys behind him, and also he's struggling a lot with the tires. Remember, Lazarus using a controller, a joypad to race, so for Lazarus, it's a difficult situation like that, and probably he feel the pressure, but he have a lot of experience and he handled that very well. But let's see now because maybe now is the move.
Oh, this is never going to end well. Side by side. Luckily, he's backed out. That one very close there between Garrett De Vries. I think Ring actually might be starting to lose its speed because Lazarus is also gaining on Riang. This is going to be very, very close. I think it's going to be a mighty squeeze bit of contact between the two. I think Sartorius there really doing absolutely everything with his mighty and power to try and not give up his P5. But now look at this. Crucially for Garrett De Vries, he has got into that clean air. He's past Sartorius, and now he can have full concentration on trying to catch down Lazarus and making his move stick. He's got 3 laps to get into P4, get past Lazarus, and then try and hunt down Riang. Now, if that's possible, it can be possible. But what he has to make sure now is he gets past Lazarus as soon as he can and not afford to be trying to defend off from Sartorius, who's right behind him. Jaden Wright is also in the picture as well. So this is going to be very, very close between all 3 of them right now.
And by the way, Tom Parker is out of the race, so the pity. We make a real dumb move lap before, but I think we have some fun today after what the things that happened. And by the way, the Vries, I think he sits at the situation for he needs to make the move now because he can catch also Hoykslet that is very near also to this battle. So let's see if De Vries can make a move or not against Filipakos that shows a formidable opponent, even without any tires and also losing a controller.
Yeah, I think the move is starting to shape up it. Garrett De Vries, he almost thought about it after the Dero straight into the bridge. And you could just see here Lazarus struggling immensely hard with his tyre wear. Now, the crucial part here for Garrett is he's starting to pull away from Jaden Wright and Sartorius. I think Sartorius actually made it off somewhere on the lap just gone. But now Garrett, he just has his full attention now on that P4. He doesn't have to worry about it behind him. For the meantime, Lazarus defends the inside. Garrett De Vries will try and outbrake him. Can he make this stick? He's somehow on the track limits there. Bit contact between the two. Always gone around the outside there from Garrett De Vries. It's a sensible overtake. He made that one stick, but crucially, he's now into that P4. And with just over a lap and a half to go, he really does have to give it beans now because he will want that P3. I don't think Lazarus will be close enough to try and make him move. Maybe not. We'll see. Oh, that's okay, Jaden right there, almost into the back of Lazarus as they enter the 90-degree left-hander. I think Jaden might be able to get Lazarus as well. He's going to have a run through bridge using both curbs. He's much, much quicker than him. If he can get a good exit here, potentially into the hairpin. He's got a decent exit. Into the hairpin. Oh, he just ran into the back of him. Jaden Wright bouncing all over the place. And now with 1 lap to go, meanwhile Justin at the front of the field is completely running his own race. It's been a fantastic drive from Justin.
De Vries make a very good job, and about Garrett De Vries' move against Filipakos was the best move I see on the Academy Series this year because it was very on the limit. You don't cut because you remember the rules on GPVWC about track limits is the curbs. You still with 2 wheels on the curb. It was a fantastic move. The most beautiful move I see this year in the Academy Series, overtaken by De Vries on the outside. Let's go back to Justin Van der Smies, the Dutch driver, dominating the racecraft today. He don't start on the pole, but he make a very good start, showing a lot of dominating on the racecraft. leading the race basically all the laps. And Justin Van der Wiesen will cross the line and wins the race. Very good win by Van der Wiesen. And Darius Andre in P2. What a race by Darius
Oh
Andre.
my, sorry, Garrett DeVries, he's down the inside, there's contact! Oh my, I've watched them go through the bridge, it was so close, Garrett DeVries trying to make the move, couldn't make his stick, but it will be P2 for Darius, so a fantastic result for him. P3, meanwhile, Willoughby Ring, I think he's just about to gonna keep off P3, and what a result that will be for Ring.
Filipakos in P5, very nice race for Filipakos, also on in P6. I hear a crash on the last lap. What happened? Let me see. I don't see the. Oh, is Darius Andre that crashed the car. So going back to the race, Hoekstra was very difficult situation for Hoekstra, but he handled against the Vries and make the P3 was best result from Hoekstra this year. And what a race from Hoekstra. And the Vries probably, after all that happened in the race, he knows that he can make a better result, but I think in the end he's happy because we have a lot of action, we have a lot of emotion basically. And Van der Wiesen is very happy. I want to talk with all these guys today on the broadcast, on the interviews, especially with De Vries also, because he had everything on his race today. He have drama, we have emotion, we have happiness. It's fantastic, George.
Yeah, I mean, those couple of laps there was close. I didn't think the zero stop would be possible, but clearly being mistaken, and you have to give credit to them because that would definitely have not been an easy task by any means necessary.
Exactly. As I talked before, I don't expect that the win was going to zero stops, but I do not expect also, George, that a top three can happen and people can make top three without make a pit stop. And today, of course, was not easy, was difficult, especially from Henk Hoysta, but Darius Andre shows that, and he make a mistake on the middle of the race and lost a lot of positions. And even with that, he make a very, very good comeback. It was I think it was a win for him today after all that happened. We see a lot of drama today, but at the same time, a lot of emotion. Was this track was very, very fun today, not for us making the broadcast, but also from the people that was watching the race today. I think everyone is very happy, and I'm very excited now to make the interviews. The first guy that is open to interview is the winner. It's Justin Van der Wiesen. So Justin Van der Wiesen, the winner today, the Dutch driver. He make a lot of good results in the Passing Academy Series on podiums, top 5, but a win he never made before, and today is his first win in Academy Series. So Justin, tell us everything. How was the quality for you? How was the race? If you expected this win, tell to us everything about it.
Yeah, the quali was quite okay. I would have hoped on P3, but in the end it was P4, still second starting one grid. And then in the warm-up I decided what I was going to do on the strategy with the fuel and the tires. And yeah, at the end I decided to go in early and to make a longer second stint. And at the start I had an amazing start. I took the Gijs and I took Darius in the beginning, and then 2 or 3 laps later I just took the lead from Jaden. And yeah, since then I was just dominating the whole race, made the pit stop, not really much mistakes, watched out with where do I pass traffic, etc. So yeah, it was a good race today.
And by the way, Van der Wiesen, season basically is coming to the end in GPVWC. We have just one more round the Academy Series, 2 rounds in from a challenge that is the USA and Brazil, Cota Interlagos, and also in Academy Series last race in Interlagos. So how you are feeling for the next race? If you're racing Academy Series Interlagos, you like the track, tell everything to us, and also how you expect to be the next year for you in GPWC? You expect to continue in Academy Series or racing for some team in the career ladder?
Yeah, I will make out the end of this season with Team Rookie Monsters in Formula Challenge. And yeah, for next season I have a contract. So just a team that needs to get accepted, and then it's just all pushing into the next season.
Good to hear that. George, you have some questions to give to your winner today, Justin for dismissed.
No, I think that's it, mate. You drove a phenomenal race, really. To put out such a gap you did, it was a real good job.
Thanks, man.
So I think for today you beat that. That other people don't want to be on the interview because I was very. I think not just me, but also George want to see the opinion of the guys, especially the people that was bad on the end, like De Vries and Hoist, and also um, uh, also the guys that finishing behind, that was Jaden Wright and also Filipakos, etc. But the thing that was more important, the race was very cool to see. In 2 weeks, you have the last round of the Academy Series that is in Interlagos, the Autódromo José Carlos Pache in Brazil, São Paulo. And by the way, George, do you think Interlagos will be cool like was today in New Zealand? What do you think?
I think it should be a calmer race, considering the track will be a lot wider than the one we had tonight. But we'll have to see, though.
By the way, we have Henk Hoekstra on the. So let's talk with Henk Hoekstra. He finished on the P3 today. He was one of the guys that don't make a pit stop strategy. The team boss of Thunderdog. So Henk, hello. Talk to us.
Hello.
Talk to us everything about the race in your point of view. How difficult was the final laps, especially because you had way more worse tires compared to the Vries that was trying to attack you from the position.
It was. I don't think it was too bad. The tires did go, but the last few laps they were coming very fast. So Garrett especially was coming very very fast to me, and I was nervous to keep in that spot because it's a nice spot to be in.
So in the end, you make the result was difficult, but in the end, I think you still very exciting, especially the way you talk to us. But by the way, I think how you see this year of GPWC, this year of 20 for you in GPWC, and not only as a driver in Academy Season, but also as a team boss in Thunderdog. How you see the year at all?
Oh, it's going very well, I think. At first, I had Sven de Vries, of course, and that I was very happy to sign him. And I was not so pleased when he said, "I want to go and drive SC now." And
me either.
Then I got Tom Stevens, and he was very good. And then Owen also. I'm very pleased with both of them. And Thunderduck in third place, is a good spot to be in. The same spot as always.
But by the way, Henk, thank you for being part of the interviews. I hope next round is Interlagos is a track that you like it. What do you think? How you'll be like us today in New Zealand? You think, or you'll be more calm because of the difference of tracks?
That's the next track for Academy. You mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
it's Interlagos.
I like the track. Yeah. I don't know if I'm as good as today, but I will try.
Okay, good. That's we want to hear from you, Henk. And thank you for being part of the interviews.
Okay.
And well, today was that, George. Was an exciting race. I think it will be difficult to we come back to be calm because I still excited. It was very 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 tense race, especially on the final laps. And I hope Interlagos also be cool as that, and not only the Academy Series, but also all the career ladder, especially. So I think for today is that. So in 2 weeks, guys, Interlagos. My name is Rodrigo Carvalho. I thank George Whitehouse to be part of commentaries with me today. I also thank Szymon Frelik for the cameras. And I see you guys in 2 weeks for the last round, round 16, Interlagos. See you guys next time, Interlagos.